Bangladesh was hit by massive floods in the month of May. 2 months later, most rivers have receded, but in this northeastern settlement, there is no respite. Thousands of families continue to live in temporary homes. Many have lost their assets and cattle. What does this constant barrage of floods mean for Bangladesh's people? How does it affect the next generation? Take a look.
This is Sylhet, in northeast Bangladesh. Back in May, this region was hit by strong floods. Elsewhere, the water has receded, but here, the scenes haven't changed.
We are living in the water. I keep my cattle at another house. We are in a helpless condition. There is no road to use. We have to walk in waist-deep water. We have rented a house with extra rent to save ourselves and keep the cattle at another house. That one also has submerged.
The flooding has displaced thousands of people, roads cut off, communications down, the entire region inaccessible. The government claims more than 100 people were killed in the floods. Thousands more have been displaced. Until the water recedes, they cannot return home. So they live here, in these vulnerable temporary shelters.
The flood-affected people will return to their houses with their families when the water recedes. I have 150 houses in my ward. All of them are mud houses and all have been damaged. These houses need immediate repair for people to live in them. But people don't have the money for the repair works.
The floods keep getting worse every year. It's a side effect of climate change. Here in Bangladesh, temperature has increased by 0.5 degrees since 1976. The result? Monsoons have gone for a toss. Earlier, there will be moderate downpour spread over a long time. Now, it's the opposite. Long dry spells followed by short bursts of intense downpour. Sometimes days' worth of raindrops in a few hours. And when that happens, the rivers overflow. Now, according to the World Bank, 3.5 million people are facing flood risks. It also threatens the country's food supply and economy. Agriculture makes up 14% of Bangladesh's GDP, plus 42% of the workforce. And these biblical floods put everything at risk. At this rate, Bangladesh could become the hub of climate refugees, people who are displaced by extreme climate events. Bangladesh could have 19 million climate refugees by 2050. And children could be the biggest victims. They make up 40% of the country's population. These climate events are pushing them out of schools and into the workforce. 1.7 million children are working as laborers. 25% of them are below 11 years old. Why did these children drop out? Because of two big reasons. Number one, floods are destroying educational infrastructure. Last year, 5,000 schools were lost. The local administrations either do not have the money or the initiative to rebuild them. Number two, climate migration. When parents flee floods to urban slums, the children follow. But in the process, they lose out on education. The numbers support this. In 2021, Bangladesh's dropout rate was 17%. Almost 2 million children stopped going to school. This is the invisible impact of Bangladesh's climate tragedy. We see the destructive floods, we see the dramatic landslides, but we rarely see what happens after the event, the aftershocks. If Bangladesh does not invest in climate action, it is not just jeopardizing the present, it is also jeopardizing the future. South Asia Bureau, WION, Wild is one.